Hey guys, welcome back. Since lately I've been getting a bunch of comments, whether good or bad, on the fact that I wear a full face helmet, I thought we could do a video on it. This is a Met parachute. Mine is a 2014, but they're basically the same from that year up until now in 2017. And this is what I would consider a non-downhill helmet. Now, it does have the appropriate certification for it to be used as a downhill helmet, but I don't think that was the original idea for it. You can tell because of the ventilation it has that it's thought out more as a trail helmet. The whole point of a trail helmet is the fact that you can ride it while you're pedaling and also while you're going downhill or speeding or whatever. So this one in particular, and that's actually the reason while I'm doing the review while I'm riding, breathes incredibly well. The reason I chose the Met parachute over the other ones is because this one doesn't give you that rebreather effect where your breath gets stuck in the chin bar and you're kind of recycling it. Well, that doesn't happen here. You actually get enough fresh air to continue to breathe properly. Granted, no matter what you do, it'll never breathe as well as an open face helmet, but I think everything in cycling is sacrifices. Are you willing to sacrifice a tiny bit here to gain a tiny bit there? And that's the case for me. Both the added protection and the sense of comfort that it gives me, in the sense that I know I'm additionally protected, makes it worth it. So for me, the trade-off is okay. Really depends on everyone to decide if that trade-off makes sense or not. So let's take a quick break and talk about the helmet while we have a chance here. The best way to do this is probably do it just here while I'm all sweaty still. So if you take a look, this helmet in particular uses a motocross style buckle, and it's a double D ring. It works very well. For some people it's going to be annoying at first because you don't click it in. You have to actually go over, under, and do that whole process. But after you've done it a couple of times, it just becomes second nature. And one of the things that I really like about that, about this helmet, is that despite the fact that it has that kind of closure, it has a ratchet type clicker in the back. So you get the initial sizing from the actual shell, but you can adjust then with this one. If you're a person that uses goggles, it actually has a space for goggles here so that you can slide it in. I personally wear glasses and they fit perfectly. You know, the little legs go into here, they go in under the adjustment strap, and they feel perfect. It doesn't bother me at all. Now, one of the cool things is that this one comes with a couple different chin pads, so you can change these to be thicker or thinner depending on what you want. And as you can probably tell, this is actually a very long-term review of this helmet. I've been riding in this thing for a couple of years now. I've been lucky enough not to crash it, but as you can see, some of it is starting to degrade, some of the little strap material. But it's still perfectly fine. It'll probably have about a year and a half or two before it actually expires, and I take good care of it in the sense of, you know, making sure that it's not exposed to direct sunlight when it's not in use and stuff like that. But it's still, you know, get some scratches here and there all over the place. It comes in a bunch of colors, so no matter what you like, you'll probably find something that works for you. Now let's talk a little bit about why I actually wear a full face helmet in Florida. You've seen most of my riding, and a lot of people, you know, tend to think that, well, if you ride in a place like this, there's no need for a full face helmet. My counter argument to that is that in addition to it actually being safer, it makes me feel more confident. And confidence is a key part of progressing in mountain biking. If you're scared, or if you're like, oh, my face is exposed or something like that, it's going to affect your riding negatively. For some people, they don't even think about it. For me, I do. I come from a background in motorcycle racing, so I've always been used to having a very closed face in front of me. So something like this actually feels natural. The chin bar, for me, makes perfect sense, and I don't even notice it anymore. Granted, it'll never breathe as well as an open face helmet, but it's a trade-off that I'm willing to do. It doesn't really bother me that much. So I think what I'm trying to say is don't let other people choose if you need a full face helmet or not. You should decide on your own if you want to wear it or if you don't want to wear it. I know a lot of people here who actually ride with the Bell Super 2R or Super 3R, and they just switch back and forth with the chin bar depending on what trail we're on. I personally think that's too much work, so I just do this. One additional reason why I chose this chin bar in particular is because this has the actual downhill certification, which is the SATM F1592, and that means that the chin bar withstands the impacts required to certify the helmet as a downhill helmet. That's a big deal because the previous Met parachute, the one that they made before this one, and I'll put a picture right here so that you can take a quick look at it, was an absolute mess. The chin bar would buckle in if the collision was hard enough, and then it would actually fold into your face, and it would actually make a cut there or a disaster there, and it would damage you a lot more than if it just not existed. So for me, it was a big deal that they had that certification because it means that an independent entity actually verified that the helmet works the way it's supposed to work. Now, it is worth noting that you can actually get that certification without the chin bar if you don't have it, or with the chin bar if you do. But if the chin bar is installed and it has a certification, it means that they did the testing with the chin bar. That's something to take into account if you're looking at other helmets in the future that may have the similar certification. Also, since I talked about removability, a lot of people think because they see these two things here that you can remove the chin bar on this. You can't. This one is fixed. And if you want a removable chin bar, definitely go with a Super 3R. It's a better choice for sure. Well, that's it for me for today. I'm just going to reinstall these, which I removed while I was talking. This is great to wash them. You can just pop them out, wash them and put them back in. And putting them back in is extremely simple. You kind of just find the little click points and that's it. It's done. Now, getting the helmet in itself, usually if you open this thing all the way to the back, it'll be a lot better just because it fits. And as you can see right now, there's a little bit of free play there. As soon as I move the clicker to the point where I need it, there, the helmet is fixed to my face in a way that's very comfortable, but it's snug enough. And what I was saying, see, I'm actually doing the closure on this with my gloves on, and these aren't the gloves I usually wear. My gloves were dirty, so I grabbed my wife's gloves, but they still work. And see, that's how quickly you can get it done when you're used to it. I hope that was useful to you. If you have any questions, comments, if you use this same helmet, another helmet, if you think full face helmets are stupid, or anything that you want to talk about, go ahead and do it in the comments below. And I try to respond to absolutely everything, which is a coherent comment. I will see you for the next one, and happy riding.